So results yesterday. In the 24-hour tournament, we had 8 anglers. Justin Schuerman won with 110.75 inches. His big fish was 39.5. And then you have his third fish, 34.5. Nothing wrong here. Everything's perfect. They're just so fat. Over the Stephen Murray's, he had a 38.25 fish. He had a 32.25 fish. And he had a 29.75 fish. I guarantee you this one, even though it's almost 3 inches shorter, probably outweighed the 32.25 by 5 pounds. Look how fat he is. It's great. All right. Dan Scheide came in third with 97.25. I came in fourth with 93. Ethan Miller third, 75.75. Clinton Payne sixth, 68 inches. 68 inches. Clint Seeger seventh, 46 inches. Moving on. Oh, we'll go right to the payouts for that. I blacked the names out just because I don't. You can do the math. You can figure it out. It's just I just don't like it being in writing on the site if I ever post this. So, May 24-hour tournament, you'll see all the anglers over here, 1 through 8. The entries are 40. It's a mandatory big fish, so you're going to get your $40 back. Normally, you don't get your big fish pot back if it's money back because it's an optional pot. But since we're making it mandatory, if you get your money back, you are getting the big fish portion back as well. Second place got 40. The overall pot was 219.52. So subtract 40 from that. Winner's going to get 179.52, and big fish is going to get 80. And real quick, I don't think I talked about Big Fish. Tournament home. Big Fish goes to Justin Schuerman with 39.5. And that's all there is to it for the May 24 event. Going on. Cowan Lake in-person tournament yesterday. 6 anglers. Ryan Bortz and I were the only 2 to catch fish. Let's go check out some of these fish. We'll just check out my 2 big ones and Ryan's 1 big one. So I had a 33.5 incher. Not fat. This guy was much lighter than the 33 incher I caught last weekend. So the 33 incher I caught last weekend barely stayed on the board. That's just how catfish work. There we go, 33.5 inches. Here's my 32 incher. This one outweighed my 33 incher by a lot right here. 32 inches on the nose. This one made me kind of bummed. I wish he was just a little shorter because it would have been a perfect slot fish. But he's clearly past that 32-inch line, so I can't submit this fish to the slot. Our slot tournament is 32-inch max. And then over to Ryan Bort's 31.25. Let's take a look at this. That's a beautiful channel. Let's see here. I can see the tail fin touching, so we're good there. Very nice. And you can see that he's bumped. All right. I took first 135.75. Ryan took second with 81.75. And the payouts for that, coming up here, we got 6 anglers. No Cat King contribution because it's not a national event. It's an in-person event. Big fish is $10. So the contributions to the pot was $47.81 per angler. So Ryan got $60 back. Big fish got $60. And first place got $226.86. All right. We are done with that. May month-long standings, where we currently stand. Dan Scheide is in first. This is your 7 biggest fish. He's in first, 237.5 inches. Clint Seeger's in second, 221.75 inches. I am in third, 211.75 inches. I'm just going to do top 3 from now on because I feel like if I just keep going as the tournaments grow, if we have 20 anglers, I can't go through 20. So we're just going to do top 3 for going forward. But I'll showcase every single person. And then for big fish right now, we have Justin Schuerman in first at 39.5. Moving over to our slot tournament, which is your 5 fish closest to but not breaking the 32-inch line. Dan Scheide is in first with 153. I am in second with 139.25. Clint is in third with 137.5. Moving on, Texas versus Ohio. We had a Texas versus Ohio event in February, but they had a once-in-a-lifetime snowstorm, which caused the majority of them not to be able to fish. So we made it a best 2 out of 3. Currently, it's your 3 biggest fish amongst all of your team. It is now a 6 versus 6. Ohio leads the series 1-0. We are currently losing 300-something to 170 inches roughly. I had the math done a second ago, but I accidentally deleted it. Big fish right now for us is 33.5. Big fish right now for Texas is 40.5. And the way that payout's going to work is The way that payout's going to work is everyone put $30 in, $10 goes towards your personal stake big fish. So if you are on the winning team at the end of the best of 3, you're going to win $35.50 back individually. Big Fish for Ohio will win $60 as it stands. Big Fish for Texas will win $60 as it stands. Big Fish is going to be the biggest fish of all 3 events combined. So if you have the biggest fish in 2 of the 3 events, but if the biggest fish is actually in the one that you don't have it, you don't win the Big Fish pot. This wasn't supposed to be a 2 out of 3 initially, but this is the most fair way we see of doing it. Everyone pays in one time, whether they fish one of the events or all 3 of the events. So that's why the payout is all in one spreadsheet. And the reason it turned to a best out of 3 was I didn't feel like it was fair to the Texas anglers in February who physically could not get out for 3 weeks. So both sides agreed on it, and that's how that's working. Going on. So this is going to be the explanation of how you qualify for Cat King in July, what you're going to win, etc. The way you qualify is you got to take first or second in an event at any point in time in the first half of the year. So that's January through June. And on top of that, you have to have entered at least 3 events that we have submitted in the national scene. So Cowan Lake doesn't count. Bluegrass, Catfish, Bass doesn't count. Those are in-persons. It has to be a national level event that anyone across the country can join. So names in green are qualified. Names in yellow have fished 2 of the required 3 events. Names in orange, which there aren't any, have only fished 1 of 3. And if your name's not up there, then you have not qualified. Current qualifiers are Dan Shida, Ryan Boards, Kayak Mike, Clint Seeger, Patrick Murray, Clint Payne, Stan Smith, Justin Johnson, Donald Burnett, Justin Schuerman, and Stephen Murray. Jesse O'Neill has only fished 2 of the 3 events. The Big Fish, the 2021 Big Fish side pot, we are going to count as a first half of the year event. If you join in that side pot in the second half, I will go look at your join date and I will consider it a second half joined event. It will not count as your events for the second half if you joined in the first half. The entry fee for that is relatively hefty. It's $27 or $28. We've had events which are $30 and $40, so I think it's fair to count the Big Fish as one of the events you need to be in, or you could be in to qualify for this. The way the format's going to, well, first, payout. The pot is right here. It's $105 currently. We take $1 from every single national event, and we throw it towards this pot per every single registered angler. So right now it's at $105 before we include June. We're probably only going to pay out the Cat King if the pot stays at about $100. My guess is $130 by the time the first half is over. It wouldn't make sense paying out more than 1 spot. Hopefully down the road we get sponsored for this event, so who knows. But the way the Cat King works is the first set is going to be pool play. It's going to be everyone who has qualified, and we're going to split them into 2 pools. And for an example, I just did a random generator. I threw Pool A over here. Let's zoom in on this so it's easier for you guys watching. Pool A would be Dan, myself, Ryan, Clint, and Patrick. Pool B would be Clint, Stan, Justin, Donald, Justin, Steven. This is just random. Those aren't going to be the guaranteed pools. These are just random names I put in random pools. And the way it works is the first 2 weeks of July, the first 2 weekends of July. And the reason I made sure each set had 2 weekends in it, that way if there's any weekend warriors like myself, we get 4 opportunities to go fish, or 2. This way you're not just stuck having to fish on a certain day. If you're not a weekend warrior, if you get to fish during the week, more power to you. If you're a weekend warrior and you don't think that's fair, I'm sorry. There's only so much we can do to handicap the rules to be as competitive as possible for everybody. So the first set is July 1st through July 11th, and like I said, that's 2 full weekends. It's going to be 2 over, 2 under, as close to 32 inches as possible. The reason I'm doing 2 over, 2 under is because some people qualify strictly through slot tournaments, some people qualify strictly through open tournaments, and that is the best way I think it could be fair to have the pool play. It's going to be those 2 full weeks. Any day you can submit fish any day, anytime, as long as they're caught between July 1st at 12:01 a.m. and July 11th at 11:59 p.m. The top 2 placers from each pool will then go to bracket style. So let's say Ryan Bortz won Pool A and Clint Seeger took second. Donald Burnett won Pool B, and Stan Smith took second. July 12th, which is a Monday, right here, it's a Monday, we are going to let the anglers competing against each other, in this case, it's first versus second in each respective pool. In this case, Ryan would be facing off against Stan Smith, and Clint would be facing off against Donald Burnett. Each of the respective competitors get to speak with the other competitor that they are facing off against to determine a format. That format has to be over the time frame of July 13th to July 25th at midnight. They could do anything they want. They could do a 1 day. They could do a 2 over 2 under that entire time frame. They could do a 48-hour event. They can do your biggest fish over the 2 weeks. Whatever each set of competitors want to do, they can do, as long as it falls in between July 13th at 12:01 a.m. and July 25th at 11:59 p.m. Any format they want. But they have to agree to it collectively. If they cannot agree to it on July 12th collectively, it's going to be another 2 over 2 under until July 25th at 11:59 p.m. The reason we're trying to let the anglers choose their format is this is the Cat King. This is to decide who the best fisherman in the country is. And there are some statistics that we just know for fact. We just know some bodies of water are better than others. So if we can get the anglers to agree on a format once it becomes bracket play, that eliminates all excuses. You can't say, well, I can't compete with so-and-so because they have bigger fish on average than I do, and it's the 5 biggest fish. Well, we let you agree with your opponent on what you were going to do. And if you can't agree, 2 over, 2 under, 32 inches, I believe is the most fair way to do it, because at 32 inch, essentially all of us can find 32-inch fish. And then 2 biggest over 2 weeks, essentially all of us, it's a roll of a dice, can have the 2 biggest fish over 2 weeks. And then going down to the championship, same exact idea, except it has to happen over the... Oh, back up. Let's say Stan beats Ryan and Clint beats Don. It would be Stan Smith versus Clint Seeger. Same exact idea, but it will be over the week of July 27th at 12:01 a.m. through August 1st at 11:59 p.m. Stan and Clint would get together, and they will decide whatever kind of format that they're going to fish against each other for the championship. Again, they can do a 1 day. They can do a single biggest fish over 4 days. Whatever they want to do, as long as it happens in that time frame, and the format's whatever they want, I don't care. I will create the leaderboards for whatever they want on Fishing Chaos. I think this is going to be extremely exciting, a lot of fun, and it also gives us an opportunity on July 12th, format picking day. Hopefully we can get a live stream going, and we can get all 4 of the contestants that are going to be fishing against each other to agree on a competition on a live stream. I think that would be a lot of fun. Same thing on the championship. It would be awesome to pull in whoever is the finalist, pull them in, and hash out what the final is going to be. Also, I would love the finalists to do like a 1 day, 7-hour or something live event that we could, have just blasting in the background. I think that would be a lot of fun and really cool. And yeah, that's all there is to it for Catfish King. You qualify, you go into a pool. So this is going to be Catfish King in a nutshell. You qualify for Catfish King. You get placed into a pool. The first 2 weeks, it's 2 over, 2 under. Whoever has the best score, whoever's first and second in each pool, will then face each other off. First place versus second place, pool A to B. First place versus second place, pool B to A. They will then agree on a format that they want over the next allotted amount of time, which is July 13th through July 25th. The winner of both of those respective events will face each other in a 1 versus 1. They get to choose whatever format they want, and that format has to go over July 27th at 12:01 a.m. and August 1st at 11:59 p.m. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're really going to see who the Cat King is, because it's not with the national scene. You can't determine a Cat King based off of just like your 5 biggest fish. We all know who's going to win that. Or your 5 closest to 32 inches. We all know who's probably going to win that. This is going to eliminate all the handicaps, and the anglers are going to be competing amongst each other. So that's it for Cat King, and that's it for this video. Kayak Mike out of here.